Today, we're going to tackle quadratic equations, focusing on a specific example that requires careful manipulation before we can solve it. Here's our quadratic equation. X times open parentheses, 2x plus 3 close parentheses, minus 6 equals 0. This equation isn't immediately solvable in its current form. Notice the structure of this equation. We have a term in parentheses being multiplied by x, which means we'll need to use the distributive property to expand it. Before we can apply any quadratic formula or factoring techniques, we need to convert this to standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. The standard form allows us to identify the coefficients we'll need for solving. Our first step is to expand the left side of the equation by multiplying x through the parentheses. This will give us a polynomial in descending order of powers, making it easier to identify our coefficients a, b, and c. When we expand x times 2x plus 3, we'll multiply x by each term inside the parentheses. This gives us x times 2x, which is 2x squared, plus x times 3, which is 3x. This is a crucial algebraic skill for solving many types of equations. Once we've expanded the expression, we'll have all terms in polynomial form, which will allow us to reorganize them into the standard form and proceed with solving using either the quadratic formula or factoring, depending on which is more appropriate. Understanding this initial step of expansion is essential. Without properly converting to standard form, we can't accurately identify the coefficients needed for solving quadratic equations. In this problem, we need to expand the quadratic expression x times the quantity 2x plus 3 minus 6 equals 0. This will allow us to convert it into the standard form of a quadratic equation. Let's move our original equation to the top, so we have room to work through the expansion step by step. To expand this expression, we need to apply the distributive property. This means multiplying x by each term inside the parentheses separately. We'll rewrite it as x times 2x plus x times 3 minus 6 equals 0. Let's look at each multiplication separately. First, we have x multiplying 2x. Remember that when you multiply variables, you add their exponents. Since x has an implied exponent of 1, and 2x also has an x with an implied exponent of 1, we'll get x squared in our result. For the first term, x times 2x, we multiply the coefficients 1 and 2, giving us 2. Then for the variables, x times x gives us x squared, so x times 2x equals 2x squared. For the second term, we have x times 3. Since 3 is just a constant, we multiply it by